At around 6:52 a.m. on Friday, the 28th of February, the implosion of Kingda Ka had occurred and sounded the blast heard around the coaster industry. There are many thoughts about this from many people around the coaster community right now. You're more than welcome to have your opinions, but today I want to talk about my story from Kingda Ka.
Now get ready. Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? It is Arkham here, and I just want to take this video to talk about my Kingda Ka story because it actually has a lot more to do with the actual growth of this channel than you might actually think. And not a lot of people really know too much about why I wanted to start this channel, and I figured that this would be a good time to do that because Kingda Ka was the vocal point behind me starting this channel, Adrenaline Rush Coaster Media. So I want to take this video to sort of talk about why I'm doing this more or less just as a hobby. I just want for people to just see my stories and see my experiences with other people that are having the same interest as me. This is just such a great hobby for me. It keeps me busy from real life stuff and just keeps me busy throughout the day. I think for me, it's what inspired me to start creating my coaster journeys to share with the world. Um, so we're going to get into a little bit more details about how it all started, and why Kingda Ka was sort of that roller coaster for me that was the driving force behind this channel. So for that, we have to go all the way back before my first ever vlog. So this was around April of 2024. Yeah, I know it's very late in time, but like every other time that I've been to the park that was before the year 2024, I've been super petrified of even getting on Kingda Ka. And I've always seen that thing, and I've just seen the Golden Kingdom arches, and I'm like, I ain't going in there for any reason whatsoever. So I would just avoid that whole entire area. I wouldn't even go into the boardwalk to do Green Lantern or Superman because I never was a fan of those rides. I would always stick to like Nitro and some of like the other flat rides in that area. Like I do Justice League a lot. I was always pretty good with that. When I was younger, I do a lot Wonder Woman a lot. I've always was a fan of Cyborg when I was little. I didn't really grow to love it as much as I did when I was younger. Nitro again was like my big ride. El Toro was very big for me. Medusa or Bizarro, depending on the time frame exactly. But those are like my go-to rides. I've always skipped Kingda Ka because I've been just super afraid of it and just completely knowing and avoiding it until one visit in April, way before I even had thoughts of even making this channel. I just went to visit the park by myself, and I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna go to Kingda Ka. I'm just gonna go on it. I'm gonna just ride it, just for the heck of it. Let's see what happens. And basically, I just run over there first thing. I don't have a care in the world what it is. I just dart right over to the Golden Kingdom to get on Kingda Ka, get myself a locker, put all my stuff in the locker, so on and so forth. And basically, I'm waiting outside the ride. I actually am talking to this guy who has a lot of the same interests as me, and really just getting to have communication with people about the whole about just all of Kingda Ka and just other theme parks, and so on and so forth. This is actually this person that I'm referring to is someone that actually has been in a couple of my vlogs before. This was actually Joe, and Joe was the first true roller coaster friend that I've actually met at the park, and I met him in line for Kingda Ka, and he ended up sprucing up a deal where he was like, okay, we have this locker, but we're going to get the front row. And so my first ever experience on Kingda Ka was, oddly enough, in the very front row of the teal train, I'm pretty sure. And wow, oh, wow. It was an absolutely gnarly experience. The fact that my first ever ride on Kingda Ka was not only boosted mode, but a front row boosted mode already was like eye popping, eye candy. Holy crap, this is happening. And then I got off and I'm like, we're getting back on it. This is also how I met a couple of other people. I met Doug through this, and I met a bunch of other guys that I've been in a lot of communication with, and they've really been the ones that have just steered the ship. And I'm like, wow, I finally found people that really have like this same sort of thing that I like to talk about. Like, I could talk about roller coasters with my family, and they'd be like, "Oh, what is that? What is that? What is B&M? What is intimate? I've never heard of that before." And it's like having to delve into that is like so like drives me up the wall sometimes. But at the same time, it's very cool to have like people that speak the same language of like your interests. So realizing that, I'm like, wow, I'm not the only one that like just goes up to the park alone to just have a good day and just to ride a bunch of these rides is really, really cool. This is also the same day where I met Ryan, he also known as Mr. Toro, as some people might know him as. And man, ever since those meeting those guys, it was like it just changed everything. That's how, like, afterwards I would still go to the park with them on occasions. And then I continued through that. Decade Day, I'd meet like Colin and all those other guys and Johnny, Deshaun I'd meet even before then. Like so many other people that I've just constantly met, and even later on throughout the season, I'd meet Sammy and Austin and Alex and Ariel and all these guys, just people that I've constantly met, all really culminated again from my first ever ride on Kingda Ka. And really, it was just my inspiration of just like just getting out of the house to do something that was outside of my full-time job. And mind you, I love my job. I love what I do full time, and I have no intents to end that. And I also have no intents to stopping this hobby that I have. I love roller coasters as a hobby. It's literally going to keep me busy during the summer. And then I have a fantastic job that I love having as well. And just having all those people super supportive and just seeing them on the weekends, it just really opens things up for me that I've never been able to fully open up. Because throughout my whole entire life, I've always struggled with communication skills. I've always struggled with just communicating. I would always tell myself, I'm like, you're not good enough. You're not worthy. You're not a good friend. I'd always think myself poorly about myself with that, because at the end of the day, and because of that, I always like try to reach out a little bit extra more, and that in turn would then push people away, because I don't know if it's me trying too hard or whatever it might be. But I've always struggled with friendships. I've always struggled with maintaining friendships. And this was not only like now I'm still having this issue, but just throughout my life, middle school, high school, college. And when I was in college, it was during COVID, like my sophomore year, and it was brutal. And ever since I got back into college, which was a senior, so I essentially missed like a year and a half because I stayed home my entire junior year and took virtual classes. Then just getting back and adapting to even more real world stuff was even more difficult. So, because of that and other family things that were happening throughout my time in college, I actually went and sought a therapist, somebody to just talk about what's been going on in my life, and someone that potentially could help me find a potential plug or a hobby that I could just stick with. And I have to say, the therapists I have worked with over the past, I'm going to say like a year and a half, have been so helpful and have really helped me understand that not only that I am enough, but also that finding something that you like to do as a hobby is a lot easier than you think. And I'd always talk about, man, missed opportunities to go to Six Flags, or missed opportunities that we could have maybe added Universal every time I'd went down to Disney to do that as well. And my therapist was like, well, why not you just stick to roller coasters? Why not you just go out and do that? My struggle was then just actually initiating it and just being like, you know what? I'm just going to go. I'd always struggle, even though I'm super introverted, I always would struggle with just being like, I want to do this because I think it's fun. I went to my mom. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I don't have anything going on today. I'm just going to go to Six Flags. And that's what I did. I just kept going to Six Flags whenever I didn't have anything going on the weekend. I just went to Six Flags. May After my older part-time job, you know what? I'm gonna go to Six Flags after, just because I just wanted to get out there and actually like start to do stuff that interest me. I wasn't gonna let anybody hold me back and say you can't do this. You're good, and I'm like, I'm gonna go out there and do this because this is what I want to do, and I want to go out there and actually meet people that are like me. And without Kingda Ka, and I really would not have met all those people. And if they have listened all the way through my sort of thing, listen, you know exactly who you are. To everybody that has talked to me, to everybody that has laughed at my very stupid one-liners, and very cheesy and corny puns and funny quips and jokes. And trust me, I have a lot of those. If you've watched any of Colin's stuff, I say some of the most ridiculous and funny things ever. I mean, I cannot thank you guys enough. I seriously cannot thank you guys enough. For just welcoming me with open arms and just letting me be me for once, and getting perspective on different things, and just making me feel welcome, and just having all that happen is just so heartwarming to me. And at the end of the day, like, if I never got on Kingda Ka with Joseph that first time, and then met Doug, and then met Ryan in turn, and then after that, like, I swear all those other events afterwards would never have happened. So it was truly, truly incredible to get to meet those people. It was fantastic that I was able to say that essentially Kingda Ka saved my life. This roller coaster saved my life. Moral of the story, if there's something you want to do, you need to get your ass up and you need to go do that, right? If you want to go out there and ride a roller coaster and your friend that you asked them says they can't because they already have plans, just go yourself. Just go do what you want to do, right? That's what I did all the time last year when I went to Great Adventure. I would literally just go to the park myself. I'd ask a couple of my friends, be like, hey, you gonna go to the park today? They'd be like, I can't today. I would still go anyway. Don't let that stop you and deteriorate your plans. If you still plan to go to these places, go to these places, right? That was my big thing too. I don't want to let anybody stop you from doing anything. Like, I know that was a very tough pill for me to swallow, because realizing that's like, okay, in order for me to make connections, I need to get myself out there. I'm super introverted. Especially if it's people that I don't know, I am incredibly introverted. I'm super quiet. I usually just stick to my phone and stare at my Instagram and see if there's something interesting there. And then even if it goes longer, like, I just throw on my phone and watch a YouTube video, whether it's on roller coasters or any other thing that I just find interesting. So the fact that I could actually like go out to a park, record my journeys, and then go back 3 months from then, or look to the future and go 3 months back and watch those videos and realize, oh my God, I went to Busch Gardens Williamsburg during a ACE event. I went to Dorney Park for the first ever time in July. And even though I went by myself, I had an absolute blast. And because of that, so many doors had opened up. I was encouraged by many people to go out, become an ACE member, which was so worth it, because coasting through the snow was so fantastic last year. And now I've opened a door to go to even more ACE events this year, which I have signed up for. And now I have even more plans for 2025. And I feel like, even though those plans are very ambitious, and with a lot of very interesting stuff happening for the 2025 coaster season, I just cannot wait to see what opens up and what continues to open up for the roller coaster community. Yes, we lost Kingda Ka today or tomorrow, whenever this video releases. We lost Kingda Ka, but the future is always going to be bright. And especially for Great Adventure, I have full confidence that they wouldn't take out the world's tallest roller coaster if they didn't have a plan for what's to replace it. They clearly have something in mind that we just have to sit back, relax, and see what happens when they make an announcement, whether it's late summer, early fall, maybe even in the spring for all I know, for what that replacement will be. And I'm sure whatever it is, it's going to be a really great ride. But moral of the story is this: my life was saved because of Kingda Ka. I implore you, go do what you want to do, because for all you know, you going out and doing what you so want to do might save your life. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my story on Kingda Ka and why it had and what it inspired me with this channel to do, and how many big things it really means to me that without Kingda Ka, I just would not be in the position that I am, with the relationships that I've made with the bunch of people just through, even over the course that it wasn't even like, what is today, February 28th when I'm making this video? Like, it's been 10 months, and the amount of relationships and people that I've met over the course of 10 months has been nothing short of amazing. It has been a fantastic ride, and it makes me so, so, so excited for what's going to happen in 2025 and for this coaster season, because we are now officially exactly 1 month away from Great Adventures opening day. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Always thank your ride operators. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you all in the parks very soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Here we go.